good evening to all of you, and thank you for being here today. So I will try to be as brief as possible in this first presentation of Muner, Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna. It's a project created in 2017 that involves all the University of Emilia-Romagna and all the best automotive companies of the region. We would like to give you a glimpse into our reality through the words of some protagonists of Muner. So today we have the pleasure to have with us Sundus Derissi in the center, program manager at Muner. She has worked for the last 13 years in different countries and works setting, creating and managing educational structures, programs and teaching learning materials. She's an educator with a passion for empowering people and fostering talents. Then we have Elena Bassoli on my side, full professor in technology and manufacturing system at the Department of Engineering Enzo Ferrari and at Muner. She's delegated at the Department for the Reception of Disabled and SLD Students, director of the 2022 edition of Muner Women in Transport Summer School. And she's expert of additive manufacturing, on which topic she coordinated a European project and was enrolled by the AC as expert evaluator. And last but not least, Nicolas Casas Rey, a Muner graduate in advanced powertrain, originally from Colombia. He did his thesis with Ducati, focused on electrification, and right upon graduation, he started working at CNH, one of Muner partner companies. He also represents the region Emilia-Romagna as settled in talents in the Year Ambassador project. I am Teresa Serra, I'm in charge of communication for Muner, and today we will moderate this talk. And I would like to start by giving the floor to Sundus. So, Sundus, what is Muner? How was it born and with what purposes?
Well, Muner, the full name is the Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna. I would say it's a quite unique reality because for the first time it put together 15 important companies in the automotive sector and the 4 universities of the region of Emilia-Romagna. It was founded with the purpose of attracting talents from national and international level to bring them all together and give them the updated theoretical knowledge and the cutting edge know-how, and of course the innovative technology from the companies to prepare them to become the engineers that we would need in the future. What is particular about Muner is its educational approach, as it combines classroom lessons together with hands-on and experiential activities, for example, field visits, seminars, workshops, and the 6-month-long internship that it's done in the companies or the university labs. So I would say this makes it very unique and actually prepares our students to be ready to insert the workforce right upon graduation. So with outstanding capacities. So for example, over 80% of our students graduate with distinction. And over 90% of them upon graduation start professional activity, for example, working in the companies or conducting research at the university. And interestingly, over 60% of these students work within Muner companies involved in very exciting and interesting projects, innovative as well. I would say another feature is that access to our programs are highly competitive because we have limited number of seats, and this is done on purpose. And the purpose is to guarantee heterogeneity of skills and passion for what they're studying, also to cultivate a close relationship between students, among themselves, and also with professors, and to create a rich and harmonious growth and learning environment. So I would say these are some of the features that make Muner a very unique place.
Thank you, Sundus. Thank you a lot. I would say that in a few years, Muner has come a long way. To date, what are the main goals for the future?
Yes, exactly. Muner has come a long way and achieved very, I would say, very satisfying results. This is thanks to the partners' contributions and effort in the educational offer, but also, I would say, because of our philosophy of valuing and promoting diversity. In fact, 20% of our students are international, non-Italians, and around 60% of the Italians come from regions other than Emilia-Romagna. So we believe that diversity breeds innovation. So one of our aims is to keep attracting students from different backgrounds and cultures and improve gender balance. If I want to add, if I'm to add another objective, that would be keep expanding our network and partnerships with international universities in Europe, in the US, and worldwide, as well as with companies. So we can maximize and diversify the excellent quality of our programs, not only in the master's degree programs, but also summer schools, winter schools, programs targeting PhD students. And another objective that we're very keen on is to keep demonstrating that Muner is a working and a successful model in bridging two worlds, the academic world and the professional world, and prepare competent and passionate engineers in the automotive sector. So I will leave you with our video so you can learn a little bit more about Muner. Thank you.
Can you imagine the cars and the motorcycles of the future? Will they be connected to everything? How will their design change? How will the engine of tomorrow work? Maybe motor vehicles will turn on just with a glimpse, or be as fast as your thoughts. The truth is that imagination requires talent, but above all, skills and training tools that only a great university can offer. This is the reason why Muner, the Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna, was born. A campus as big as an entire region, where the brands that made the history of the automotive industry and the main universities of Emilia-Romagna merged together to design the 8 automotive engineering careers of the future in electric vehicle engineering, electronic and communication system, autonomous driving engineering, advanced powertrain, advanced motorcycle engineering, advanced sports car manufacturing, high-performance car design, racing car design. All of them under 3 master's degrees with an innovative learning by doing approach. The most famous automotive companies in the world put their know-how and the most innovative technologies at the service of students to train the engineers of tomorrow directly through their professionals. With Muner, the most talented students will shift from designing to testing within the most renowned manufacturers with the skills of those already pursuing the future and bringing it forward. Start here and keep writing the history of 2 and 4 wheels. If you are an engineer with passion for automotive, if you have strong skills and a multidisciplinary curiosity, join Muner, the University of Motor Vehicle that will drive you into the future. Find out more at motorvehicleuniversity.com.
Okay. So, Nicolas, as I told in the video, Muner is looking for the best talent all around the world. You are from Colombia, so how did you discover Muner?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Teresa, for inviting me today. And it is a pleasure for me to have this opportunity to share my experience in Muner as an international student. So I discovered Muner when I was looking for a master's degree to study abroad. At that time, I was living in Colombia. I had already graduated from mechanical engineering, and I was working at the moment. But I felt like I needed to make some further step in my career. So I hadn't even decided if I wanted some kind of a management degree or technical one, because in Colombia, because of the type of economy, you would have better opportunities maybe with a management degree, or to choose a technical one that was like diving into the unknown, because this was kind of my dream since I finished high school. So it was like deciding between convenience and passion. So uh, at the beginning, I also considered other universities in Germany, in France. But the thing that I noticed about Muner was that it basically was the only program that was practically tailored by the automotive companies of the region, as Sundus was mentioning. And that's something that attracted me a lot. And well, at the beginning, I didn't know anything about this region. I knew that, for example, um, Lamborghini was in some place close to a famous city that was famous because of the bolognese sauce. I didn't know that much more. Um, But then, little by little, I discovered that in this region there were also other legendary companies, car manufacturers, and that the whole area was known as the Italian Motor Valley.
Okay, thank you. I'm curious about something. What made you stay? Why you decide to stay here?
It was my girlfriend. No, I'm kidding. There were some personal, of course, personal reasons, but also professional. From the professional point of view, when I arrived here, I was very motivated because of the environment that I found when I was studying. Even though we had to deal with COVID, um, I noticed that some professors were actually trying to keep that practical approach that Muner has, and make us do and develop some virtual projects that could allow us to apply the theory that we learn in the lessons. Since the beginning of the program, I remember that we received some important insights on how we could apply the theory and the concepts that we learned during the lessons within the partner companies of Muner, such as Ferrari and Ducati. And this collaboration between the university and the industry was one of the things that I like the most, because it not only does it give you some exposure as a future candidate for a job, but it also allows you to start a very interesting project in an academic environment, and then having the possibility to develop it further within a company for an internship, for example. And that's what I basically did with Ducati, working with the electric motorbikes. Then it also opened a door for my job at CNH Industrial. So also that's the beauty of it. You can change between motorcycles and tractors within the same region, and with all the tools that the university gives you. Now, from the personal point of view, it was not easy at the beginning, because it was like starting a new life in a place very far from home, very far from the family. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know anyone, so it was kind of the hardest things that I've done in my life. And there is also Italian bureaucracy. But However, there are also many people that were willing to give me a hand or support me even just emotionally. There are also some organizations in the region that are willing to help foreign students and workers to settle in, like Arthur with the International Talents Program. There are, of course, many things that I think that I wouldn't have done if I didn't have these challenges. I even did babysitting, but it was just part of this positive experience. You learn from everything that happens to you. Well, furthermore, Italy is a beautiful country after Colombia, of course. But yeah, I had the chance to travel around by car, by train, by bicycle, which is another passion. I met incredible people, incredible places. The food is delicious, especially here in Emilia-Romagna. And I find it very interesting how Italians preserve and safeguard the gastronomic traditions. It's really nice because you don't see it like in any other place in the world. So to sum up, it was a job that I like, some new friends, my girlfriend, my bicycle, and tortellini.
That's a good answer. So thank you, Nicolas. We really hope that many others will follow your footsteps. And now, Elena, after Nicolas' story, I think it's interesting to listen to you as Muner professor. And what characterizes Muner's training offer?
So I think that if I had to pick the most peculiar features of Muner, maybe I would choose three. The first, very first, is something that Sundus touched already, and that Muner comes from the will of the entire region to set up training opportunities, training paths that have been co-designed between the industries and the universities all together. So 4 universities and the best, the most prestigious companies in the automotive field decided to go beyond competition between them and to design a strategic path for the engineers of the future. So the curricula in Muner have been thought to answer the needs of these companies, to accompany and maybe anticipate the careers of the future, the changes that are taking place in the automotive field. So this is maybe the first and most important feature of this path. And then there's 2 more. The first is that we tried, and I think we are succeeding in building a hub of attraction for talents from all over the world. So we try to bring to the Motor Valley the most valuable minds, the most passionate students, and we try to link them from the beginning with the environment of the companies, so to offer a training approach that is much, we call it learning by doing. So we try to mix theory and practice, to involve industrial experts in the classroom. The lectures are held by academics and industrial experts. Students have a lot of opportunities to enter the companies for tours, but also for training opportunities. They are also involved in Muner, in the promotion, in the communication. So, for example, some of the Muner students were involved in events. Some of them, I don't know, took part to this Motor Valley Fest, for example. Others were selected as race commissioners for the F2000 championship. We try to apply a different method so that these students at the end of Muner are ready to enter the Motor Valley and to drive the future of this area.
Thank you, Elena. As well as a professor, you were also the director of the 2022 edition of our summer school, Women in Transport.
Yeah.
That is about to start the new edition this year in July.
Exactly.
Can you tell us something about this experience?
Well, for sure. As you know, it is a topic that is very close to my heart. I think it's something that
I know.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, as we all know, the number of female vocations in the STEM field in general, but even more clearly in engineering or in the automotive, is very far from gender balance. And this is an issue for all of us. The first and very obvious reason why we need to solve, to try to find a better balance is that the number of students that graduate in engineering every year is much less than the need of the automotive companies. So there's a first and immediate aspect that is about numbers. So there's not enough engineers with respect to the request from companies. So recruitment is a serious bottleneck. So the first reason why we should try to be more attractive towards non-male students is that because if we are attractive towards twice as many potential students, then this means that we will have more engineers to feed the Motor Valley. And this is very obvious. But then, in addition to this simple answer, there's, of course, more meaningful aspects that we can consider, and which have to do with diversity and inclusion. And from this point of view, I have to say that the partner companies in Muner are all very aware of the importance of diversity, and they are all very active in trying to overcome the stereotypes. So we find a lot of support in them, and we as academics are really trying to do our best to improve diversity, gender balance, and inclusion. Well, of course, working teams which are more diverse and more balanced in general have a lot of advantages. For example, there's a plurality of viewpoints, more diverse attitudes, more opinions, more chances to reach innovations in different ways. So there's a lot of, it's very well recognized that diversity brings, fosters innovation and better work environments. And of course, more balanced teams also benefit from more natural relations between people. So that's, of course, a further advantage. So given this, last year, we organized a summer school that was called Women in Transport, also supported from the EU, that has an interest and trend towards these initiatives. We brought to Modena 20 female engineering students, really burning with passion in the automotive field, so really passionate about this field. And it was an exciting experience, really surprising and exciting. I will give you an example. On the very first day, I saw the little confusion in my colleagues, male colleague professors, in front of an all-female audience. And well, I couldn't help but smile because any female engineer lived this experience for most of her academic and professional life. So it was, I think, surprising and inspiring chance to have these female engineering students. They, for the first time, they kept on saying, it's the first time I can talk about my passion with someone who is of my same gender, which is, of course, meaningless in the sense that, of course, talent and competence are gender neutral, but the environment and the atmosphere that is created in groups is not. So I think that it is our responsibility as academics, as a society, to remove the stereotypes, to be attractive so that more people of any kind, any geographic origin, any culture, I don't know, religious background, whatever, at least can consider engineering careers as an opportunity. And by simply setting this as an opportunity, I'm sure we will have more diverse individuals that will come to the Motor Valley and be the leaders of tomorrow in this field.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Sundus, for sharing your experience. And thank you, Nicolas, for sharing also your story, your personal story. And now I will throw the floor to questions. If someone from the public wants to ask something, this is the moment.
Well,
Even in Italian.
As every professor has, I have questions for the audience. Is there any student who is thinking of applying for Muner? Okay. Do you have any curiosity?
Even in Italian, if you
Yeah,
prefer.
whatever language, from Colombian to I don't know how many she speaks, too many to list.
Hello. What is your offer in field of teams like Formula SAE and others?
Well, we are the best for. No, I'm serious. We have. I might miss few details, but we strongly encourage students to join our Formula SAE teams, and we have 4 different ones. So if I'm missing something, please help. We have internal combustion, hybrid, and full electric, and a motorbike.
Just in Modena.
Just here in Modena, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Then
You're true, because, of course, Muner spans over 4 different universities, so what I know very well are the teams in Modena, but if you enrolled... Nicolas, can you help us?
Yes, in Bologna they also have combustion, electrical, and also motorcycle. I think there was also some autonomous vehicle. Well, in Bologna they also have something that it's not only about cars. They also have some electric boat competition that they develop in Monte Carlo in Monaco. So the offer is quite wide.
and also in Parma and in Ferrara. Each Muner University partner has its personal formula or motto team.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Others?
Yes, please.
Firstly, it's the pleasure to participate today's talent talk. Is make us to get to know the Muner. So firstly, I would like to ask the Prof. Elena Pasoli, um, in order to join the Muner, what should the preparation that should we do to join Muner? Because
Well,
I found that the Muner have some difficult topic of the courses. Also, we have the different the program structure.
Yeah. So if I got the question well, your question is about requirements for admission. So from the well, technical requirements, I can answer about what you should know, but Sundus can be more precise on the admission procedure. Maybe. I don't know. Do you want to go first?
First of all, if you let us know what program are you interested in?
Now I'm studying in the Ingegneria del Veicolo in Università for the master degree.
Yeah, well, let's say that all our programs have similar requirements. So you need, of course, to be achieving in your bachelor degree, and different programs have.
I'm already got the undergraduate diploma.
Yes, yes. So, for example, for the advanced automotive engineering, you need to have a mechanical background.
Okay.
For the electric one, you also need to have a background that is related to the electric one, and for the electronic, mostly informatics. So we can provide you more details, but just to be brief, you need a relevant bachelor degree. You need at least B2 in English level.
Yes, I know.
And these are the minimum requirements. And then during the admission process, we evaluate things related to your co-curricular activities, work experience, and of course, passion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, another question is Prof. Elena Pasoli. Will we have the piece of the courses due to the smaller no? Will the piece of the teaching be faster due to the smaller number of the students in Muner?
I'm not sure. So due to the smaller number of students, will the teaching be faster?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I wouldn't say so. So small numbers, I think, have to do a lot with practical activities that can be practical, really, I mean, screwing things, whatever, but also in the sense of making calculations, applying what you learn to solve problems, for example, to work in groups, to have a closer link connection with the professors. I wouldn't say that you can teach faster if the number of students is smaller. So, well, I don't know. Would you help me, Nicholas? I'm fast enough.
Well, yeah, in my experience, it's not that different. It's just that, yeah, as she said, is like you have a better opportunity to go further into the topics. Like probably the professor has more time for doubts of every single student. So I think it's better in that perspective.
I just add one thing. Smaller groups give you the opportunity to have personalized learning.
Yeah.
So there's enough time to look at the needs of every different students. And it also helps you to have a close relationship between your peers and also take advantage of the time of the professors. So we value small groups in order to have a harmonious learning environment. And it gives you the opportunity to grow and learn much more.
Okay, yeah, because I asked this question because I found that all of the mandatory courses will be finished in in the 1 year and a half, not the 2 years in Muner?
Actually, the number of courses in Muner is the same as in all the other programs. It's just that we arranged the semesters so that all the courses are in the first year and a half, so that you do not have courses in the last semester and you're more free to follow your internship. But actually, the overall number is the same as for other master degree courses. The only difference is that in those cases, you need to mix the internship with the courses, which is a bit more difficult. So we wanted to give the opportunity to concentrate fully on the internship experience, which is very important.
Okay, clearly, thanks, Prof. Okay, another question I would like to ask the Sandros. I noticed that in the following academic year, the teaching plan will be changed in the Muner. I mean that some courses will have been cancelled and some courses have been added in the plan. So I want to know that what's kind of the consideration based on this.
I missed it, sorry.
Yeah, the reason why we have courses in different places and different universities is to give you the experience of every different place.
No. I mean that the following year, I mean that in the 2023 of the 2024, the Muner's education plan added some courses and canceled some other kind of courses. It's different from the last year.
You mean that the overall path has changed?
Yes.
It's because we perform a continuous check and of course of what's going well and what are the possible ways to improve, of course. So every year we discuss with the partner companies and in between the universities to see if there's any possible improvement or innovation to maybe include some new topics which are becoming important in industry. So I wouldn't be able to say now which are exactly the differences that will be introduced next year, but for sure it's because we try to learn from what we are doing and improve step by step during the process.
Yes, I noticed that, for instance, the vehicle electric system would become the overall courses for the IRE curriculum. So that's why they changed it.
Yeah, as I said, I'm sorry, I don't know. I might check for the details. It's probably better if you send an email and we maybe answer more specific questions in with more time than we have here. I don't remember exactly the differences in next year's programs. So if you want to send an email, we are more than happy to explain what will be changing.
Okay, thank you. The last question I would ask to the Nicholas, sir, that I know that during the Muner period, we will have a lot of the group work during this period. So it's more or less associated with the work in the company. I would like to ask you as the extraordinary almost student who graduate from the Muner, what's the difference feel of you between the work in your work position or during your study times?
What's the difference between what? Sorry?
What's the difference feels for you between the study times or the worker position?
Well, you mean between the studies and the working?
Yeah, because in the Muner we have some different things between the general master degree, master lessons, and we have a lot of the group work. We
Yeah.
have
Which
to do
curriculum did
too
you
much
graduate in?
project.
Yeah, I graduated in powertrain in the advanced automotive engineering. So yeah, that's true. We worked mostly in the second semester and third semester of the degree. We work a lot in groups, and but I think, well, that was really interesting because also with the mix of different nationalities that we have in the classes, in the lessons, you get to know different perspectives. You get to know people that come from different backgrounds. So ideas, I think they enrich and they get better with diversity. So that's a strong point of Muner that allows you to work in groups, to have this diversity within the groups, and also to work on projects that could eventually be applied on a real job in a company.
Okay, thanks. I finished.
Thank
One
you.
question there.
Before you spoke different times about a learning by doing approach, but in practice, do you mean also being part of different technical projects from the companies in the zone, or?
It's an interesting, very good question. So at the beginning, the first semester is common to all students, which means that the classroom is made of around, in advanced automotive engineering, for example, around 120 students, a bit less in the other programs. So there, learning by doing mainly means trying to be as practical as possible in the things we teach, trying to let you think how you could apply your knowledge to solve problems. But also there's activities in the companies, for example, in Ferrari, but also others, where you will go and get in touch with the technical stuff there and do things. And then as the numbers decrease in the following semesters, for sure there's a bigger chance to be involved in group works and carry out projects, for example. Well, to give you an example, at the very first semester, even if the numbers are 120 students, we split them in groups to develop, to work on a certain topic, and we evaluate their results as part of the exam. So learning by doing, I think, means many different things throughout the master degree program. I would consider it as a general approach method that we try to apply as often as possible. I don't know if you want to add anything.
I think you said most of it, but I would just add a few things. Practically, we also give other opportunities in addition to curricular activities that happens in the classroom. So we provide you with field visits where you can go and see by yourself how the technology is made. There are seminars where we call international professors or professors from other national universities that are they excel in the topic, so you hear from them directly. There's also laboratories that happen throughout the year, and then of course the internship in which you do things by your hands and by yourself. So you don't hear about them, you do them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay.
So do we have time, or so maybe I can have the last question, and to all of you. So according to your experience, your different experiences, what would you say, what advices and suggestions and everything to Muner future students?
I will leave Nicolas answer first.
Nicolas.
Okay, well, from the student point of view, I would suggest to follow your passions. I mean, if you're passionate about the automotive, Muner has different paths that you can follow. It has like the offer is quite complete. So if you're thinking about Muner because you're passionate of the automotive world, I would suggest to go ahead and apply. And I would like to offer myself as an advisor. If you need any help, you can approach to me and any questions. I now speak Italian, so.
Can you cook bolognese sauce?
Yeah, I've done it once, but it's quite difficult, I must say. I can do carbonara. But yeah, so I would have liked someone when I started that would have given me the advice that I needed. So yeah, I would like to offer myself as if you need any advice and if you have any questions, I'm very open to help.
Actually, I have only one advice, which is take advantage of every learning opportunity you have. So if there's any seminar, you should join it. If there's any field visit, you should book your spot. Anything that is available to you, have a look at it, participate, and don't miss it, because this is a very unique moment. You're not going to have this later on. Later on, you might be specialized in one field, and that's it. But throughout Muner experience, you have access to all technology related to the field: tractor, motorcycle, cars, racing cars, and you're surrounded by professionals in all these different fields, professionals in the academic world and in the companies. So don't miss any learning opportunity. Also seek advice from your professors. They will open themselves to you. Have discussions with your classmates because they come from different parts of the world with different background. This will not only grow your knowledge, build your experience, but it will open your mind and it will make you someone who is able to adapt. So when you join the workforce, you have the intuition to solve problems, to grow in what you're doing. So just take every opportunity available to you.
He says we are done. Okay, I think I will share Sundu's words. She gave the best advice ever.
Okay.
Thank you, Sundus.
Thank you to everyone, to Sundus, Elena, and Nicolas, and to all of you that listened to us today. Thank you.